You're watching Nia B Diary. Hey, you guys. So today is going to be about self esteem. I think I had low self esteem starting from the age of 10. I was always a heavy girl, and my parents and my family, they made me very aware of that, to say the least. And, that created low self esteem. I had cousins that picked on me because of my size, that said things to me like, that's why you're bigger than your mother. And I was at one point bigger than my mother. And, you know, when people say stuff, that does something to a person. And it gave me a real thick skin. It made me real tough, and it made me real hard, and it made me hard to deal with too, because it created a wall. So I don't trust nobody I come into contact with. It's very hard for me to trust people because I've always been let down, by friends, by family, and so I don't know how it feels to really trust somebody 100%. I always feel like there's a vendetta, or there's something that someone has against me, and most of the time I'm right, most of the time I'm wrong, and when I'm in those cases when I'm wrong, it's just that the person doesn't like me. So from a little kid, that created a low self-esteem. And in my family is weird. My family is hard, on both sides, mom and dad. On my mother's side, I spent most of my time with them growing up as a kid. So I learned that I was big from them. I learned that I was dark from them, that I was darker, and I could tell the favoritism. And, a lot of people think that doesn't go on in black families, but it does. And, my family may not speak on it, and they may brush it under the rug, and they may not acknowledge it, but they are funny with color. They have always treated the lighter children better than the darker children, and my family has always been that way from when my mom was little and when her mom was little. And I don't know what it is about black people that have such a thing with color. So I always had these three things against me, and that caused low self esteem. And that was because I was too tall, I was too big, and I was too black. And when I say that now, it's like those stigmas are still placed on me, because those are things I still think of in my head. Those are things that I eventually labeled myself, that took years and time for me to get over it. And, I still struggle with those things to this day, and that's why I can't wait to have my own children, you know, because I can't wait to teach them self love and self worth, and because those are things that I had to learn on my own, because I never felt good enough, you could say, you know. And that's weird. That's weird for a kid to feel. When you're a kid, you should be happy. You should be doing things that a kid should do. And I remember when I was younger, my father used to make me run on the treadmill. And he would probably say, I did it because I loved you. And you were getting too big. And and I was worried about you. And he was, you know, and that was his way. But parents have no idea how great of an effect they are on their children and how they think of themselves. And I learned early on that the way I looked wasn't it wasn't good enough. it wasn't pretty, and I wasn't pretty, and no one ever told me that. My mom used to tell me that all the time, of course, because everyone says you look just like your mother. So my mother always called me pretty. She always told me I was beautiful. But that used to be hard to believe when you have the other parent complaining about your weight, and then you have your family members joke on your weight. So, early on I said I'm the problem. I don't know why I'm big, and I don't know, but I realized that I spent too much time with my grandmother, and she fed me whatever I wanted to eat, and that made me a big girl. And it is what it is. It was nothing. You can't choose your family. You can't choose your parents. So my mom, she worked long hours, so my grandmother had me all the time. My father, he was, of course, he was there. He was in the picture, but my grandmother, I was with her most of the time. I was with her all of the time. Excuse the sirens. And my grandmother, she fed me everything. You name it, in a black home, everything is fried. So, as a little kid, I gained weight around the time I was like 9. Like, by the time I was 9, I was really big. And I wish I could show pictures, but I can't right now. But I will do another video, a second part to this video, and I will show pictures of me when I was little, and you'll see how chunky I was, and but I can't wait to have children. Oh my God, what are they doing? I can't wait to have children. I want to teach them to love themselves, to love their bodies, to love their skin, to love everything about them, because I didn't learn that at home. I learned that on my own. And I don't necessarily blame my parents, because they were the best parents they could be, and they gave me everything. And I'm not to say that things compensate for other things, but it's just like certain things I can't be mad at them. Because when I look at their examples for parents, apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, as they say. They had hard lives. They experienced things in their own childhood that I would never want to experience. So I know that my parents were the best parents that they could be. And they gave their heart and soul to me. But, I developed low self-esteem at a very young age. And I hated to look at myself sometimes in the mirror. And I used to just poke myself and be like, why can't you just be skinny? Like, why can't you just lose this weight? And when I was 20, I weighed like 350 something pounds, and nobody probably would ever believe that, because looking at me, you would have never thought I weighed that much, but I did. And I was like, enough is enough, and I'm gonna lose this weight. And I did. I lost weight. Right now, I'm down to 290. I'm 25. It took me forever to even get to 290. And I plan on losing more, because I know I need to, health wise. Not for anybody else, but for health and for me, because it's time. It been was time. And that was a part of the low self-esteem, being overweight, and your doctor is telling you this. Your mother is telling you this, your father is telling you this, your grandmother is joking about how big your thighs is. Like, They don't know what they did to me saying stuff like that. They don't know what that did. That created a real wall, and it made it hard for me to trust anybody or believe anybody when they would say I was beautiful or that I was pretty or anything. I don't believe people when they say it. To this day, I don't believe people. And I believe my mom probably only, but it created a wall. It really did. So you have to be careful, especially people with children. A lot of people my age have children right now, and I feel like my age group, we don't have a lot of patience. Have patience with your children because the things you say to them affect how they feel about themselves, into adulthood. And if they are not strong and brave enough to face themselves and really tell themselves that they are good enough and that they are beautiful, like, because it took me years to really love me. And now you can't, and now you can't tell me nothing. But it took a long time. And I don't want that for my future children. And I don't want that for anybody else's children. So be mindful. Be mindful of the things you say, and not just to your children, but just to the average regular people in the street. You don't know what people are going through. People are fighting at home, with themselves and with others. People are battling every day. So be careful what you say to people. Be careful, be mindful how you treat people. Not so much of how they treat you, but be mindful of how you treat people. It matters. It really does. Love one another now more than ever because we are in a time where look who our president is. He does not love us. It is up to us to love us. It is up to us to uplift one another, to be there, to be a friend. It's not a time to war or to hate because that's what they want. That's what they expect. It is a time to love now more than ever because love wins. Stand up and be that person to love first, to uplift first, to guide first. Don't wish harm on the next person. There's not enough love in this world. And that is why so many of us hurt. Because people are using and abusing and taking advantage of one another. People are not loving each other anymore. People are not nice anymore. And I don't even know if they ever were. But it is 2017. And it is time to cut the bullshit. Cut the hatred, the self-hate, and hate towards others. It is time to love one another. The time is now. And if nobody told you they love you today, I love you. And God loves you first.